What's up, it's Third Eye View 195 coming at you with my intellect, and man, what a great summer it was. With all the moves that happened in the summer, it was one of the greatest summers we have ever seen. If you're an NBA fan, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm here to talk about the trade that happened between Boston and Cleveland, and I'll be giving my opinion on that trade. Stay tuned. For the past couple of weeks, the news that was dominating the NBA world the most was about where's Kyrie going to end up after he requested a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers. It caused a lot of controversy and many reports came out about LeBron being blindsided and disappointed about the request Kyrie made and Kyrie supposedly not wanting to play with LeBron anymore. Even as far as if LeBron sees Kyrie in real life, he would want to fight him. There were many speculations of where Kyrie would end up and wants to be. It was said that he wants to be on the Chicago Bulls, the San Antonio Spurs, the New York Knicks, the Miami Heat, and the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Clippers. Many teams wanted him the moment they found out that he wants to leave Cleveland. I mean, who wouldn't want him? He's a potential superstar, a #1 overall pick, an NBA champion, he's clutch, he arguably made the greatest shot in NBA Finals history, a 4-time All-Star, an All-Star MVP, he won the NBA Rookie of the Year award, was on the All-NBA Rookie First Team, an NBA Rising Stars Challenge MVP, an NBA 3-point shootout champion, the USA Male Athlete of the Year in 2014, was the FIBA World Cup MVP when USA beat Serbia 129-92 back in 2014 at the 17th FIBA Basketball World Cup, and contributed to USA winning the gold medal last year in the Olympics in Brazil. It was said that a 3-way deal between the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks, and the Phoenix Suns could happen. If it did happen, Cleveland would receive Carmelo Anthony and Eric Bledsoe. New York would receive Kyrie Irving and Tyson Chandler, and Phoenix would receive Kevin Love and Frank Ntilikina, the number 8 overall pick in this year's draft that New York drafted. The Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns also had interest in Kyrie. It was said that no Cleveland player liked a Kyrie post on Instagram since July the 10th, and he unfollowed LeBron off of Instagram and not talked to any Cleveland Cavaliers players, and also during their playoff run. This could be the reason why they lost in the finals, because clearly something has been going wrong. Fake reports even came out about him and LeBron meeting up with each other in Miami to mend the problem between both of them so that they can move forward positively with each other, but that wasn't true, it was false. There were many things being said about the same situation from many different sources. It's confusing because you don't know what's true from what's not true. But in the end, Kyrie ended up being traded to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, and the Brooklyn Nets 2018 first-round pick. But Cleveland put the trade on hold because they wanted more from Boston due to Isaiah Thomas' injured hip back when he suffered it in Game 2 back in May on the 19th in the Eastern Conference Finals against the very team that's making the trade to get him, Cleveland, in the playoffs. I think Cleveland knew the severity of Isaiah Thomas' hip, but they just wanted to finesse Boston. They wanted Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, two young players with star potential. Even though Jason Tatum never played an NBA regular season game in his career yet, based off of what I've seen in this year's Summer League, he has the potential to be a star and even a superstar, but we'll see this upcoming NBA season and for years to come. And Jaylen Brown has that same potential because we seen that last year during the regular season. He showed flashes of that, and during the Summer League this year. The holdup was for about a week. Cleveland never got what they wanted in return. Instead, they got a 2020 second-round draft pick, including the original offer that was prior to the trade being held up a week before. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but this is where Cleveland messed up. They got an offer from the Milwaukee Bucks that would send Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon, and a first-round pick for Kyrie Irving. Cleveland should have called off the deal because if they got Malcolm Brogdon, they would be getting the Rookie of the Year plus a combo guard, a guy that can knock down threes and get to the basket. He's a big guard. He's 6'5", 215 pounds, and he plays poised. He's polished. He spent a good amount of years in college. He spent 5 years in college because during his freshman season, he suffered a serious foot injury. So he delayed his sophomore season because of what happened to his foot in his freshman season. And this is what they call redshirt in USA college athletics, when there's a delay or suspension of an athlete's participation in order to stay longer in his or her college career. So technically he spent 5 years in college and played 4 basketball seasons because you're only allowed to play 4 seasons in college. Usually when NBA players spend 4 years in college, they end up having really solid NBA careers. For example, players like Tayshaun Prince. He's an NBA champion, made it to the All-Defensive Second Team 4 times, and an Olympic gold medalist. He played on the 2008 Olympic team known as the Redeem Team. Shane Battier. He's a two-time NBA champion. He made it to the All-Defensive Second Team 2 times and was on the All-Rookie First Team. Steve Nash. He's a two-time NBA MVP, an 8-time NBA All-Star, made it to the All-NBA First Team 3 times, made it to the All-NBA Second Team 2 times, and made it to the All-NBA Third Team 2 times. Was a 5-time NBA assist leader and made it to the 50-40-90 Club 4 times, and a 2-time NBA Skills Challenge champion. Tim Duncan. He's a 5-time NBA champion, a 3-time NBA Finals MVP, a 2-time NBA Most Valuable Player, a 15-time NBA All-Star, an NBA All-Star MVP, made it to the All-NBA First Team 10 times, and made it to the All-NBA Second Team 3 times, and made it to the All-NBA Third Team 2 times, and made it to the All-Defensive First Team 8 times, and made it to the All-Defensive Second Team 7 times, an NBA Rookie of the Year, and the USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year in 2003, and the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 2003. David West. He's an NBA champion and a 2-time All-Star. CJ McCollum. He won the NBA Most Improved Player of the Year in the 2015 and 2016 season and led the league in free throw percentage this past season. David Lee. He's an NBA champion, a 2-time NBA All-Star, and made it to the All-NBA Third Team in 2013 and won the NBA Rookie Challenge MVP in 2007. Draymond Green. He's a 2-time NBA champion, a 2-time NBA All-Star, made it to the All-NBA Second Team last year, and made it to the All-NBA Third Team this year. He was the NBA Defensive Player of the Year this past season and made it to the All-Defensive First Team 3 times, and the NBA Steals Leader this past season. Damian Lillard. He's a 2-time NBA All-Star and made it to the All-NBA Second Team in 2016 and made it to the All-NBA Third Team in 2014, an NBA Rookie of the Year in 2013, and made it to the All-NBA Rookie First Team in 2013 and a 2-time NBA Skills Challenge champion. So this really shows that when you spend 4 years in college, it benefits your NBA career. Plus, Malcolm Brogdon's the first second-round pick in the NBA draft lottery era to ever win the Rookie of the Year award. And he plays both ends of the floor, defense and offense. I'm not the type to compare, but I see him being this generation's Gary Payton, known as the Glove. And like he said in his speech at the first annual NBA Awards, when he won the Rookie of the Year award, him being drafted in the second round motivates him, and that's why he always plays with a chip on his shoulder the moment that he came in the NBA. And I know if this trade did go through, most people would be overlooking it. So if that did go down, he can use that as a way to fuel his motivation. And we all know some second rounders that play with a chip on their shoulder, like Draymond Green and Isaiah Thomas, and we all know their accolades. I think Malcolm Brogdon's game would suit LeBron's game because we've seen how Matthew Dellavedova played with LeBron back when he was on Cleveland and even won a championship with him, and Malcolm Brogdon basically kind of has the same game as him but better. And if LeBron can coexist with Matthew Dellavedova, I definitely think he can coexist with Malcolm Brogdon. And having Chris Middleton as a shooting guard is very great for Cleveland. That's like a cherry on top of a cake. It just finalizes everything perfectly. And he's a tall shooting guard. Usually shooting guards range from the height of 6'4" to 6'7". He's 6'8". He passes the range by an inch. I mean, an inch is not a big deal, but to have a shooting guard that's 6'8" is great for your team. Chris Middleton is also a guy that can shoot threes, get to the basket, and has a good back to the basket game. And he has an advantage over other shooting guards because most shooting guards are not 6'8", so he can back them down easily. Plus, he can shoot from the mid-range. And Cleveland already has a lot of three-point shooters, from Channing Frye to Jeff Green to Richard Jefferson to Kyle Korver to Kevin Love to J.R. Smith. And to add Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon in the mix, that'd be a very deadly team. And Chris Middleton would just complement LeBron's game, in my opinion, at the way LeBron plays the game now. He can give you from 12 to 18 points per game. Overall, this would be a better trade to me than the Boston trade because you're getting two young, fresh legs, two players that have star potential, and that have playoff experience, and two young players that you can build around. So if LeBron leaves after this upcoming season, you don't have a bad start. And Cleveland saves a lot of money because these are young players you don't have to worry about paying max deals at the moment. And this is no disrespect to Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I really like the way he plays the game. I like the guy, the heart that he has, and the effort that he puts out every night he plays the game. But now you have to worry about paying him because he's expecting a max contract. Plus, he has a serious hip injury, and recent reports came out about him not being able to play until the All-Star break. And due to his height, he can't play defense on the NBA level because he's too short. He's only 5'9". And we are expecting Cleveland to go to the finals. No one in the East is better than them right now. Even though Boston got Kyrie and Gordon Hayward this year, they're still not going to be better than them for now. So when Cleveland's versing Golden State in the finals, who's going to guard Stephen Curry? Isaiah Thomas can't, he's too short. So this is why picking up Malcolm Brogdon would be better because he's 6'5", 215 pounds, and he can play defense. And LeBron made it clear that his interest is somewhere else. He just said that he wants to play with Russell Westbrook and Paul George. So there you go, picking up Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton would be a better trade to make. Plus, Cleveland would be getting a first round pick. So that's 3 young players right there that you can build around. And now Cleveland wants to trade away the first round pick that they're getting from the Brooklyn Nets. And everybody's expecting Brooklyn Nets to be bad, so they should be getting the number 1 pick. That's why Cleveland's trying to trade it away, to get DeMarcus Cousins. Overall, they're just shopping the first round pick to see who they can get for it. And if they did the same thing to the first round pick that they would get from Milwaukee, they can just do the same thing. Plus, they still have 2 young players that they would be getting in Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon that have playoff experience, that have star potential. So it's a win-win situation if they made the trade with Milwaukee, in my opinion. But that's it for the video, guys. Please comment below and give me your opinion on the trade, and connect with me on my social medias. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.
I eat my French toast, bag a French girl, tell her let's go. Watch me explode like I'm Mentos mixed with that coke. Moving like a groupie, so I back up pronto. Though you a baddie, I'm gon' split my Uber, go get you a taxi. I pray to God don't make me wife Delilah, amen.